Cartoons for Christmas. Everybody loves them, right? Hey, friends, your old pal Barkey Dog here. We all know Christmas cartoons, don't we? All the famous ones like Frosty the Snowman and Charlie Brown Christmas and all the rest. Every year they'd come on TV, and back in the day, nothing was more exciting than seeing this. Am I right? Well, I've gone ahead and rounded up a bunch of Christmas cartoons that are lesser known and might have slipped under the radar. First off, how about this one? George and the Christmas Star from 1985. This was produced by a Canadian company. Unfortunately, as you can see, the print I have is kind of crappy. Now, that's the DVD I got, but you can find this on YouTube as well. Maybe you have better luck. Here, our hero George is decorating his tree and decides he needs something fancier than the plain old paper star he has for the top. He wants something more spectacular. He wants a real star. So, he builds a rocket ship, as you do, and off he goes into outer space to find a star for his tree. Along the way, he runs into trouble with the Space Patrol and some pirates, and he also finds some friends to help him out. There's this here robot who's built the most fantastic hotel in the galaxy, where nobody stays. And he also meets this cute space chick. And even Santa Claus himself helps out. This one is so different. The rocket ship is done in this Monty Python style, the paper cutout style. And the humor is so matter-of-fact and low-key as George narrates. And yet, it's also absurd, and that juxtaposition makes this one soar. Well worth checking out. Then we have this thing from 1974. The City That Forgot Christmas. Well, that was careless of them, wasn't it? In this one, a grandfather tells the grandkids all about a town that forgot about Christmas until a guy named Matthew comes along. Matthew is a carpenter and indoctrinates the kids into his cult. Tells them all about Christmas. The mayor and his cronies aren't in favor of that and try to put the kibosh on Christmas. This one was produced by the Lutheran Church, and it's okay for what it is. The animation is limited. Kind of looks like Saturday morning Hanna-Barbera stuff done on the cheap when they were in a big hurry. But what makes this one really special is the cast. Sebastian Cabot from Family Affair is here as the grandfather and as Matthew. Casey Kasem is in this. Aside from his top 40 countdown radio show, he was the voice of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo and the voice of Robin in the classic Super Friends cartoon, among many, many other things. Phil Morris, that's right, Phil Morris from the Mission Impossible revival in the 1980s. He's here. We last saw him in my review of Jingle All the Way. Bob Holt is here too, another long-time voice actor. He did the voice of Avatar and the Wizards, and also did voices in Fritz the Cat, among many, many other things. And Charles Nelson Riley from Match Game. He plays the bad guy mayor. And one of the best things is that the animators actually took the time to animate that sound Riley always made. You know, that rah, rah, rah thing he'd do.
How do you like that?
They actually animated it. Well, okay. What about something you have heard of? How about the Smurfs? Believe it or not, they had a Christmas special. The Smurfs Christmas Special from 1982. In this one, the Smurfs are getting all smurfy for Christmas. Meanwhile, these kids and their uncle are sleighing along to the king's palace when they have an accident. The uncle is trapped under the sleigh and it doesn't look good for him. The kids stupidly go off to get help and promptly get lost. Gargamel is up to his usual tricks when this guy pops out of nowhere. He's a relative of these kids. He wants to kidnap them and hold them for ransom. So he tells Barkey he'll reward him if he helps grab the kidlings. He's going to give Gargamel the secret to finding the Smurf village. But Barkey, being Barkey, he wants to play both ends against the middle, so he wants the reward the king is offering for the safe return of the kidlings, as well as the secret of the Smurfs. Well, the Smurfs find the kids, and they think Papa Smurf is Santa Claus, and it looks like a blue Christmas, doesn't it? Blue as in Smurfing. Well, this is okay if you're into the Smurfs. I never gave a Smurf myself, but this is all right. So, how about a retro cartoon? Sort of. That's what we have with Felix the Cat Saves Christmas from 2004. Now you know me. I'm a dog. I hate cats. They reek. Blech. But I don't hate all cats. Some of them are okay, like Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah. They're not really cats, though, are they? Or the Cat Women of the Moon. They were just cute chicks in leotards, yeah. Or how about Betty Page? Nothing wrong with her, am I right? But they're just dressed up as cats. They aren't really cats, so it's okay. Still, I'm all right with some real cats, like Tom from Tom and Jerry. I always rooted for Tom because Jerry was a little jerk. And Azrael from the Smurfs again. I always felt sorry for him. He's saddled with this real no-hoper, this loser Gargamel. And I guess Top Cat would be in there somewhere too. And then there's Felix the cat. Felix is actually pretty cool. Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets into a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Yeah, Felix is okay. A real retro dude, having started out in the 1920s and reinvented and reintroduced several times over the years. At one point, during a lull in Felix's popularity, the animator and illustrator of the Felix cartoons, Joe Oriolo, obtained the sole rights to the character of Felix, and he brought it to television. Oriolo also co-created Casper the Friendly Ghost. Anyway, Felix was a big hit, and the property has been kept in the Oriolo family, Joe's son Don taking over when his father passed away. Don brought Felix back several times in the 1980s and 90s, and in 2004, he brought us this Christmas special. Here, the bad guy, the professor, has created a snow machine to create a blizzard Santa can't cope with. And Felix and Poindexter, the professor's nephew and friend of Felix, have to stop him. Now, this one is not exactly great, but it is watchable, and Felix retains his character. The classic side characters are also on form. It's maybe a bit long, to be honest, and there is some painful 2004 era CGI in a few spots. Most of the animation looks good, though. Really, this smacked of a Saturday morning cartoon from the early 1990s. It was nice to see Felix still in action with his bag of tricks. Jason Marsden, a longtime voice actor, plays the professor. Dave Collier voices Felix. He's done a lot of things, including playing Dr. Venkman in the Real Ghostbusters cartoon. Tom Bosley voices Santa, and Don Oriolo, keeping it in the family, plays Poindexter. And speaking of retro, why not take a look at A Very Pink Christmas from 2011, starring the Pink Panther. Again, we have a retro character from yesteryear in a newer cartoon, but done with reverence for what came before. This one really feels like the Pink Panther in his heyday, and I liked the production design. In this one, Big Nose, his human adversary, and the Pink Panther get into a measuring contest with rival Christmas tree lots in order to raise money so one of them can buy a super-duper sports car. Really nice animation here, I must say. Thank God this was made in the before time. If they made it today, it'd be total crap, wouldn't it? So, despite my warnings, you still want something newer, do you? Well, all right. How about the Super K's Save Christmas from 2021, an installment of Stan Lee's Superhero Kindergarten. This one actually stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get to the sleigh! Oh, I never even heard of this show. It's kind of a hoot, though. Here, Arnold is a former superhero turned kindergarten teacher for the kids of superheroes. They're going to put on a Christmas pageant, and they have competition from a rival kindergarten of supervillain children. Eventually, this leads to an attempt to stop Santa and ruin Christmas, and Arnold and the Super K's have to save the day. This one was kind of fun. A little snarky, not as good as Venture Brothers, but fun nonetheless. Poor old Stan Lee was running out of gas at this point, and he passed away before the show even aired. He cameos, of course, sort of, but his voice was provided by a stand-in actor. Reportedly, he got the idea for the Super K's when working on Kindergarten Cop with Arnold. It's fun to have Arnold in a cartoon like this. I don't know how much life this would have had, but apparently it lasted at least one season. Okay, how about one more? Ziggy's Gift from 1982. Ziggy was a one-panel newspaper comic strip starring Ziggy, a hapless loser. He actually got a holiday special, which I vaguely remember, and it was surprising since I never thought Ziggy was that popular. But apparently somebody thought he was, and he got a holiday special, his only one. Here, Ziggy takes a job as a Salvation Army type of Santa, only inadvertently working for crooks who want to cash in on the donation money the Santas collect. He runs afoul of a cop, Irish of course, who thinks he's in with the gang. And there's also a crook trying to rob Ziggy throughout the story. In our cast, we have a few name brands. Frank Welker does all of the animal voices. That was a specialty of his. And Tony Giorgio plays this butcher here. He appeared in The Godfather and Magnum Force, among other roles. The creator of Ziggy, Tom Wilson, wrote the story and was heavily involved in the production, so you know the character was done right. This is a story so well told that, while it seems to meander around, it all comes together at the end. And it's just so nice. Why can't we have that kind of storytelling today? Ugh. Well, there's some cartoons for you to get started on. You'll find several of these on YouTube or places like Amazon Prime. And I'll see you in the next one.